This is our news, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight, we get the latest from the Education Minister on the readiness of C.H. Reeves Junior High School. Plus, in addition to challenges at C.H. Reeves, the Bahamas Union of Teachers outlines other concerns at public schools across the country. And hear what the public has to say about registration challenges at the University of the Bahamas.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. Topping the news, Education Minister Jeff Lloyd confirming this evening that all issues at C.H. Reeves Junior High School have been addressed and the classrooms are fit to be occupied. This as thousands of public school students prepare to head back to the classrooms tomorrow to begin a new school term.
But we are very satisfied that everything that must be done has been done and is being done wherever it is that needs to be corrected in order for us to, go on with school, man. Education is too critical.
Lloyd has been insistent that the Ministry of Education has been addressing the issues at C.H. Reeves, which include mold, rodents, and water leakages in classrooms.
Today, Sunday, I had a walkabout. I wanted to go and see for myself what exactly is going on at C.H. Reeves. We had engaged Frank Hanna, the cleaning company, who has done a comprehensive scrub down of the entire school area. As you know, there are 13 brand new classrooms that have already been prepared and are ready to be occupied by the students and teachers. There are a number of classes that were of concern to the teachers, which have been specifically addressed, but in addition to those, all of the others, and the school is ready.
However, the Education Minister did note one challenge.
There was one classroom, according to the report, that had elevated mold in the air. That particular classroom, as well as all others, will be again tested after the scrub down to ensure that we are safe, for human habitation.
Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson has been highly critical over the ministry's handling of the situation, so much so that the union took a strike vote at the beginning of December. One that Wilson says teachers would use if the union was not provided with proof that classrooms at C.H. Reeves are fit to be occupied come tomorrow.
You have to understand, this is a school, and these are students who have been deprived of a proper educational experience last year for 2 weeks. I think that, they have suffered enough. Everybody is anxious to get back to work. I spoke to the principal. We are all ready to go, and tomorrow is going to be just fine. We have no expectation of any challenges at all.
The Education Minister says they have been in constant communication with the union and all involved to ensure all bases are covered in order for students and teachers to return to the classrooms.
Because listen, these are our stakeholders. The union is a critical, ally of the educational experience. And hey, we always are having conversation. I'm always in communication with Mrs. Wilson by WhatsApp or text or on the phone and emails every single day or every other day, so that we could, get going in education. They're as committed as we are to making sure that the students succeed.
And as to whether the union is in agreement with the ministry's readiness assessment, well, the minister said another walkabout was scheduled at 5 p.m., at which time the union would have its chance to evaluate. Meantime, the Education Minister also confirming that all construction work at A.F. Adderley Junior High is now complete and the school is ready for occupation.
A brand new school, very, very impressive. We received about a week and a half ago the occupancy certificate. I was there yesterday morning and they were bringing in the furniture and getting the grounds ready and setting up the place properly, and everything is going to be just fine. It's very, very nice. And I'm very happy with the work that has been done by Rainmar Construction and the cooperation, again, we've received from our educators and administrators.
Well, as thousands of students head back to the classroom tomorrow to begin the new semester. But as they do, there's a list of concerns still left to be addressed, according to Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson. She spoke with our Kyle Joaquin.
180 schools on 24 islands and keys. We have a problem with teacher shortages.
With teacher shortages and complaints about the condition of some schools, one of which is C.H. Reeves, BUT President Belinda Wilson says as students enter the classrooms Monday morning, there's still a lot to be done. For some schools, there just aren't enough teachers.
So North Long Island High is awaiting an English teacher. I would have worked along with the ministry. I actually would have spoken to a teacher. I convinced her to go, but she's waiting on funds from the ministry for her to make the transition. There are several teachers who are asking for immediate reassignments for personal,
There's a lot going on.
family affairs. So we're waiting for 4 of them to get responses. Up to now that I'm speaking to you, they have not received any letters.
And the list goes on. Wilson says she's been in constant communication with the Ministry of Education to resolve many of these issues, like the reassignment of teachers separated from their family.
It's undue hardship for you to separate a teacher from her husband, or a teacher from their husband or wife, a teacher from his or her children. And in 4 of these cases, there's either a parent, a spouse, or a child that is separated from these teachers, and we're asking the ministry to do the humane thing and reassign those teachers immediately.
But that's not all. According to Wilson, many teachers are still owed money.
Approximately about 350 to 400 teachers, monies that have been outstanding for years. I would have had a discussion on a higher level, and I'm expecting to have a meeting with finance to see how best those teachers can be paid over a period of time. So there's a lot going on.
Now, while this list may sound long, Wilson says teachers end up holding the short end of the stick most of the time, but don't complain.
There's a lot that you don't see or we don't bring into the public domain, but whenever the minister or any officer sought to bring matters into the public domain and give erroneous information, trust me, my brother, we will respond.
For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
All right, thanks a lot, Kyle. Meantime, there are also challenges at the tertiary level as a fee payment crisis at the University of the Bahamas forced the university to keep its doors open this weekend, as well as extend a deadline for fee payment until Monday. University students have described the long lines and lack of communication from UB as unacceptable, while UB officials have insisted that the problems were due in part to an influx of new students during the spring semester. However, what do you, members of the public, think? Our Jared Higgs found out.
I mean, to tell you the truth, I believe they should have an automated system where you pay right away, because students won't go to school. They said education is the key, and then when students have to go to school, it's a long line, it's discouraging. And some students, believe it or not, they ain't got no patience, they walk over the line and never come back and go a different way.
Hundreds of UB students spent the better part of 2 days waiting on long lines, attempting to pay school fees. University officials tried to quell the students' concerns, extending deadlines and telling media that online payment isn't available for students seeking deferred payment plans, as well as students on scholarship.
They should make it easy on the students. You know, what if we had bad weather? Those children out in all the elements and everything like that, it's ridiculous.
We said it was the people's time, and we said that young people would have been getting free education, right? So I need to hear, I need to see on your Facebook page, when you put this up, comments on how we could get all education at all levels in this country free.
UB President Dr. Rodney Smith also defended the university's brand, saying he didn't think the issues would damage the reputation of the recently elevated institution.
UB means COB, no UB, that's a university. And making the Bahamas look bad around the world, so I think that's a nation disgrace, my national disgrace, very poor.
UB officials also suggested that while automated payment systems are growing in popularity, many people still prefer to pay in cash. However, Karen Curtis, whose grandchild attends the university, thinks it's time to upgrade.
A lot of places are trying to get away from the cash now because of all the robberies and stuff we're having nowadays. So, I mean, online, make it easy on the students, you know? It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because it's been going on from, I was going there in 1999. So that's a long time, almost 20 years. Ridiculous. Yeah, they should be able to do it online. We're in the 21st century.
No, that ain't making no sense because I said that's a 21st century, so it's a different thing, a new level. Everything got to be on top, but you know, sometimes things happen. Sometimes it happen like that.
University officials say after Monday, the deregistration process will begin. Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jared Higgs.
And we will take our first break here, but still ahead tonight, the Social Services Minister talks new security measures at the Simpson Penn School for Boys. That's coming up when Our News returns.
In the past, I've had a lot of issues with service, data service, drop calls. I was encouraged by a very close friend of mine to make the switch, and in doing so, my service has been impeccable. The data is very fast, it doesn't spool, it doesn't take long to load, so everything works beautifully. I like to know what my bills are, and it's important that I'm able to simply just pick up my phone and know what my bill is. The front line for the Valley Boys is comprised of about 200 members. It's very important because to be a successful leader, I need to be able to efficiently and consistently communicate with them. It works that way. It's beautiful. The data that you guys provide is flawless. I'm John Williams, and I believe in best.
Christmas. So peaceful. So much sharing. So not about the gifts. So much doing good. Because Santa's watching. The true meaning of Christmas is in the moments we spend together. Enjoy the season with your family around a bucket of KFC. Our 8-piece family bucket is now only $20, including VAT. KFC. It's finger-licking good.
And we are back tonight with security and procedural changes ongoing at the Simpson Penn Center for Boys. This after a number of boys escaped from the facility last year. Our Jillian Gray tells us more.
Following several escapes from Simpson Penn Center for Boys in Fox Hill, Social Services Minister Frankie Campbell said his ministry has beefed up security at the facility.
Security has been beefed up in terms of the physical structure. We're continuing to review the human resources needs, the deficiencies.
In August, 13 inmates escaped through a hole in the roof. 2 months later, 4 inmates escaped after a staff member watching them went to use the restroom. One of those boys was returned a short time later by his parents. Campbell gave an update on that situation.
There is one boy still outstanding, but he was not a part of the most recent escape.
The facility has grappled with several escapes over the years. In 2011, 5 boys escaped. Then in 2012, 7 boys ran away. There are 32 boys at the facility by order of the court. Campbell said these incidents have highlighted the need for discussions on rehabilitation methods.
We also believe that we need to step up the rehabilitative process. These are young men who we need to be a part of our future. And so they must understand and we must accept that this is not the end for them. We need to prepare them for the future.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right, thanks a lot, Jillian. When Our News comes back from the break, several groups protest the results of both Junkanoo parades. You're watching the best of Bahamian news, so stay with us.